few things to you guys, like the colors of signs and how they work, so that it can be a bit easier for you guys to understand the questions in your exam. Because when was it? I think it was 3 days ago or 2 days ago. They added more questions to the learners test. Before it used to be 1,400 questions, and then they would randomly select 68, and then you write 68. How do you write out of that 68? So now they added more, and yeah, they don't want to be exact about the number, but now they are from 1.4 to 2,000 questions that they can select from. So it got a little more challenging. So that's why we're gonna try to be more technical, because there's a driving school in Postman, Andrea Driving School. So there's a couple of people that went to ride, and out of the 9 that wrote, so because they were asking more technical questions, so we're gonna try and be more technical in how we treat most of the questions, just to prepare you guys, just in case you bump into a question like that. Okay, on signs. So just to explain the colors, red means stop or prohibit. The color red means stop or prohibit. So if there's more red, you know that you need to stop. If there's a red line, a thin red, you know that it prohibits you from something. So the category of signs that you will find that kind of a color is in all of them. It can be a regulatory signs, it can be your restriction signs, you will find that color. And then yellow. Yellow indicates temporary or construction zones. Meaning, if there's something temporarily happening on the road, maybe it's a stop and go or construction, they'll use a yellow sign because it's a temporary thing that's happening. And then also in some places where you find the temporarily, let's say for example, the robot stopped working and then they want to control traffic, they'll put temporary signs, they'll be yellow. And then white marks permanent regulations. White marks permanent regulations. And blue denotes instruction or services. So blue is mostly used on your command signs that tell you what to do and how to do it, and they don't negotiate or ask. That's why they say it denotes instruction, meaning it's giving you an instruction. So every time when you see these colors, you should already know what, before understanding the sign, you should already understand the colors, what each color means. Just to go deeper into it, let's say there is a sign that has a red and white. They are mostly used in regulatory signs. How would you guys translate those kind of colors? What would you think the sign would mean before actually understanding what is written on the sign? What will first come into mind to say, okay, this colors means what? Okay, I'll take silence as not understanding. Okay, if you see a sign and the sign is has a red color and a white color, mostly this type of signs is signs that restrict you from something or prohibit you. Let's say a speed limit of 100. There's that red line around it. There's a white background at the back. So it has those two colors. You already know it's a regulatory sign, but you know that that sign commands, prohibits, and legally restricts you. And you should obey the sign. Either it can be a stop sign, a yield sign, and no entry, or a speed limit. That sign is telling you that there's a legal restriction. And because there's a legal restriction, you need to follow and obey it. And you disobeying it will result in a fine. That's when you see a red and a white sign. It's a regulatory sign. So it's very important to pick up on these two colors. So when you see a sign and you see there's red and there's white, you already know. It commands you, it prohibits you, it legally restricts you from a certain action or from passing a certain barrier, and you should obey. Any action that disobeys that sign is basically going to boil down to you getting a fine. Okay, that's a regulatory sign. And then we're moving on. A red, white, and black sign. It's a warning sign. It warns you. I'm speaking from my head. I didn't write notes about this. I'm just giving you guys a clear understanding so that when we continue with the signs, you guys can be able to pick up when I explain it further. Okay, red, white, and black. Remember, the first one was red and white. It's a regulatory sign. It prohibits you, it restricts you from an action or a speed limit. So those types of signs are stop signs, yield signs, and no entry signs or speed limits. That's the types of signs that have those colors. Now the next type is red, white, and black. Those types of signs are warning signs. Mostly you see these types of signs where it's a sharp curve. If you check on a sharp curve, it's that arrow that points that it's a sharp curve, but there is red, which is that line around the sign. There's white, which is the backdrop of the sign, and there's black, which is the arrow that points you. So those types of signs are warning signs. They're warning you about something. Meaning, for example, it indicates a potential hazard or a danger that could happen ahead. That's why you're gonna find that these types of signs, it's a sharp curve or warning you about an animal or a hidden intersection. That's warning signs: red, white, and black. Okay, and then also there's another sign, there's another type of signs, the temporary signs. How do you know they're temporary signs? They have a yellow backdrop, they have they have black writings, and they have a red color on them. The red, you're gonna find there's a line around it. That's the red. And then black, it's what's written in the middle, and the yellow will be the backdrop of the sign. It tells you about a temporary hazard, meaning there is a hazard on the road that's temporarily there. It could be road construction or could be something that's happening. It's temporarily there. So it's warning you about that. And then you have your blue signs. Remember from previously, I kept saying a blue sign, a sign that's blue, is your command sign. It tells you exactly what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Okay, so when you see this type of a sign, you know that you cannot go against what that sign says. You should follow it as it says and not do anything outside of what it says. And then you have your green signs. A sign that has a green backdrop or has more green than any other colors. Those types of signs are direction and guidance signs. Those types of signs are signs where you will see that it's written Olifantshoek. Then you know that it's directing you to Olifantshoek. It's written Postmasburg, Kimberley. Those types of signs are signs that give you direction and guidance. Then you have signs that are brown. Signs that are brown are tourism signs. These types of signs, they point you towards a tourism facility, national parks, or a specific point that has interest or that holds a history of that area. Okay, before we start with the signs on the other side, do you guys understand the colors or do you guys have any questions?
Hi, nagkasampo
Okay, it's gonna be clear when we get to the signs. Just I had to explain the colors more because the most important thing is there's no sign that's difficult. All the signs are actually very easy. The most important thing is you need to understand the basics of the sign. the colors of the sign. If you can understand the colors fully, there's no sign that's going to be difficult for you. Okay. Last week we did. Just want to go up. Just want to go up. Last week we're talking about moving hazard ahead, types of signs. We talked about pedestrian crossings. We talked about pedestrians ahead, children ahead, cyclists ahead, and horses and riders ahead. So basically, these types of signs is signs that fall under moving hazard sign. Like they're warning you about a hazard that's moving on the road. It can be a human being, it can be an animal, it could be kids that are crossing the road, or it could be a rickshaw or a cycle. So remember what I said about colors earlier. I said signs that have a red and white colors. There are signs that have a red and white are regulatory signs. So these fall under regulatory signs. But at the same time, they're also warning you. So they're regulatory signs are basically telling you that it's signs that you see on a regular. So to break down this type of a sign, the red is warning you about a pedestrian that might be crossing the road ahead of you. Same thing as this one. Remember I said what I said, if you understand the color, it becomes a lot more easier for you to understand. So just by looking at this sign, you can clearly see that it's telling you about, it's warning you about a person. Then when you break it down, what type of person is it? It's a pedestrian. And the next one is warning you about kids that could be crossing the road, meaning children that could be crossing the road ahead. Remember, white, color, red. It warns you or restricts you. In this case, it's warning you about kids that are crossing the road. The next one is warning you about cyclists ahead. Next one is warning you about horses and riders ahead. Next one is warning you about horses. The horses can be, I think a horse that's running wild, but it's on its own. Next one is telling you about cows or cattle ahead. Next one is telling you about sheep. Remember, it's moving hazards ahead. So whatever that's displayed on these types of signs is moving. It's not standing still. Next one is telling you about sheep ahead. Next one is telling you about wild animals, warthogs ahead, elephants ahead, hippos ahead, trams ahead, agricultural vehicles ahead. So on the next one, it's moving hazards, but because the color changes, there's no more white here. There's no more white. It's now yellow. So remember red and yellow, what it means. The red and yellow is telling you about is a temporary warning or telling you about a construction that's happening on that road. So temporary warning or temporary notification about a hazard on the road, it's a type of a sign. How do you know the temporary? It's yellow. So meaning the yellow could mean it's construction or is a temporary warning about something that's happening on the road. So the first sign is telling you about road works ahead. You find these types of signs on construction sites. Let's say you're driving from Kimberley to Joburg, and along the way they're fixing potholes. You'll find this type of a sign on the road telling you that there's construction on the road ahead of you. Next one is telling you about graders working ahead. Next one is telling you about construction vehicles entering or crossing the road ahead. This could be due to road works that are happening in that area. The next one is telling you about an accident ahead. So this type of a sign, this is another sign that's just something else. This type of a sign, you're not gonna really find it like where they dug a hole and they put a hole on the ground and they put a pole in and it's sitting there permanently. You will mostly find this type of a sign where you find that it's a highway and then police are on the scene. So they'll put this type of a sign. It's those signs that you pull out and then they are balanced on the road. So they'll be telling you about use alternative lane because this lane currently there's an accident on it. So they'll put this type of signs on highways. It's very rare where you're gonna find this type of a sign on a normal road. You're mostly gonna find it on the highway. Same as the next one, traffic congestion ahead. This type of a sign also, you will see it it will be placed on a road, mostly highways, or it will pop up on your navigator. Mostly you see this type of a sign on your navigator, or it will be placed on the road. But it's very rare where you're gonna find it on normal roads. Mostly you're gonna find it on highways. And they'll place this to try and help people not to be too impatient on the road. And then the next one is a different category. It's warning signs, but it's hazard marker plates. So how do you notice which direction a hazard marker plate is pointing at? You can either look at the white line or the red line. So like for example, this type of a sign, you can see that there's a white line. Yeah. This white line forms the shape of an arrow. Even the red one forms the shape of an arrow. So this type of a sign is called a danger plate. Has hazard on the side which the arrow points. So if you're looking from the white arrow or you're looking from the red arrow, they all point the same direction. So you should pass the hazard on the side which the arrow ahead points. It's pointing to your right. So meaning there could be the danger that basically this type of a sign describes. It doesn't mean that there's a huge thing that's going to flip your car upside down. Mostly you find that you're driving on the road and then a part of the road either has a bump or a small dip that could slightly interfere with your driving. So you'll find this type of signs. Mostly you find them everywhere. It can be highways, it can be village roads, it can be town roads, urban areas. You're going to find this type of a sign. And then the next one, this type of a sign, mostly you find it on curves, where it's telling you that a road in front is going to change direction. Either it's going to have a bend or it's going to have a sharp bend. So how do you know which direction you're supposed to steer your car? Well, as you're still approaching, you look at the red arrow. It's pointing to the right. And then the next one, the next one marks the place and direction of a sharp bend in the road. So how do you know the direction that this sharp bend is pointing at? You see it with the thingy, with the arrows. It can be the white ones or the red ones. So when you see this type of a sign, first thing to do, you need to slow down and then check which direction that arrow is pointing at and adjust your speed accordingly so that you can be able to direct your car properly to go around the bend or the curve or the sharp bend that you're approaching. Next one, danger plate marks the position of an overhead structure across the road. So this type of a sign, you will see it before you could reach the structure that's ahead. Mostly it could be that on top there is a structure, maybe there's a bridge passing the road on top. Or there could be pipes passing the road on top, or there could be anything that passes the road on top. So they'll be warning you so that you should already check if your car is not taller than that sign. The next one marks the position of a separation in the road at a freeway exit. Separation on the road, you find that it's 3 lanes moving one direction on a freeway, and then in front there will be a split on the road, meaning 1 lane or 2 lanes is gonna go left, and then 1 lane or 2 lanes is gonna go right. So the road splits. in front, then you see this type of a sign. Next one marks the position of a separation on the road. Same thing, it also marks the position. It can be this one or this one. How do you know it marks the position? There's this arrow pointing to the right, this arrow pointing to the left. Same as this one, this arrow is pointing to the right, this arrow is pointing to the left. Next one is a railway crossing. Railway crossing, the extra lower plate indicates 2 or more railways crossing. So meaning if you see that there's this one X, you know that it's a railway crossing. And then if there's an extra one, you know that it's 2 railways that are crossing in that area. It's more than one railway. Next one, outwards pointing arrows indicates where the road ends at a T-junction, and you must turn either left or right. So mostly if you've been driving on a road that's long and in front it has a T-junction, on the other side of the T-junction, well, as you're still approaching the T-junction, you will see there'll be this type of a sign. It's basically telling you that when you reach here, there's a road that, so you should already indicate which direction. Even though there's no stop sign, when you approach a T-junction, you need to stop and check if it's safe for you to do so. So meaning you stop, you indicate your intention. And then this one is the inward pointing arrows indicate that the road ends there. So when you see that these arrows are pointing in, can be the white arrows or the red arrows, they're pointing in, it's telling you that that's a dead end. So when you're approaching this type of a sign, you know that you're approaching a dead end. So if you're planning to either turn left or turn right, that won't be possible. The next one is 2 red and 3 yellow stripes indicate that the roadway beyond the barricade is temporarily closed. Remember, 2 red, 1, 2, and 3 yellow stripes indicates that the road beyond the barricade is temporarily closed. So you're gonna find this type of a sign where there's something temporary that's happening on the road. Something temporary that's happening on the road. How do you know it's temporary? There's a yellow color. How do you know it's warning you? There's a red color. So red, yellow, they're saying yellow is telling you temporary, red is telling you I'm warning you of something. So it's telling you that it's temporarily closed. How do you know that it's closed? There's 2 red blocks. If there's 2 red blocks, it's telling you that it's closed. Okay? To explain this further, if the reason why I keep mentioning that there's 2 red squares on the sign is telling you that the road is temporarily closed. If there is one, let's say for example, there's one, the yellow is 1, 2, here is yellow, also here is yellow, and only one red block on the left is telling you that only one lane is closed. If there's more yellow this side and then one red this side, it's telling you that the right lane is closed. But if it's 2 red, it's telling you that the whole road is closed for all traffic. So that's why it's very important that you pay attention to how much red and how much yellow is on that side. How do you know if it's right or left? If this is yellow, meaning there'll be more yellow on your left. If this is yellow, there'll be more yellow on your right. That's how you know which lane is closed. Is it both or is it one? Okay. Next one, the red and the white stripes indicate a boom control. Access is allowed only when the boom is raised. So you mostly will see these types of signs in towns that are controlled, where entrance is controlled, where access is controlled. You find that when you enter that complex, there's a security at the gate and there's controlled access. So you'll find this type of a sign. That is why also even the boom gate itself is in these colors. It's telling you that there is access control in that area. Okay, the next one, remember before we did combination signs, this is a continuation of the combination signs. So the first one is advanced warning signs with supplementary plates. You know that this first sign is telling you about a curve, but it's also telling you that when you are in that curve, you need to go 80 kilometers per hour. Anything higher is risky. So it's telling you need to go 80 kilometers per hour. But you see that the 80 doesn't have a rate and around it. So that is the recommended speed for you to pass when you get there. They recommend that you don't go above it. And if you're going 80, you'll safely pass. If you want to go faster, you're risking your life. Okay, the next one is road constructions for 5 kilometers. Next one, there's a stop sign in 200 meters. Next one, temporary sign, telling you about an accident in that area or possibility of an accident in that area. And then the next one, telling you that before I continue with this one, what do you guys think this means? This sign. What do you guys think it means?
Sorry.
What do you guys think that sign means?
The second one again.
This one. The one of the thing that has a goods vehicle under. What do you guys think it means?
Okay, I'm guessing that it's
Yes.
saying goods vehicles should yield at the intersection.
Okay. What do you think they should yield? Remember, guys, the colors white, red, black.
Should I make another guess? But
Yes, you can
I'm
try
concerned
again.
about this one. Is it saying that goods vehicles should not use the intersection? Jeez.
Okay, try again.
Okay, so the only thing I understand so far, based on the colors and how you explain them, this is giving a command. It's instructing the goods vehicles to do something at the intersection. And you said the red is for prohibiting. So that's what I'm guessing. Maybe is it prohibiting them from, you know? But we cannot stop them from crossing there, though.
Mm-hmm.
So is it saying they should yield? But that's not the way traffic works. Somebody help me.
I'm
Anybody
guessing
want to
too.
try?
I'm
Okay.
guessing too, but isn't it goods vehicles have the right of way?
No, you were very close. Okay, let me help you guys just to save time. I'm gonna start from here. Remember this first sign is telling you about a curve in front. So you should travel 80 kilometers per hour. This one is telling you about a construction for 5 kilos. This one is telling you about a stop sign in 200 meters. This one is warning you about possibility of an accident in that area. So this one, it's specifically warning goods vehicles about an intersection in front. Reason why they're warning goods vehicle is because goods vehicles need more time to slow down and to stop. So they're already being warned before they could reach the intersection that there's an intersection in front. You need to slow down, adjust your speed so that you can be able to turn properly. Remember, goods vehicles are carrying weight at the back, so meaning the stopping distance is longer. So that's why it's warning them that they should already slow down now to prepare for the next intersection. So the reason why there's no normal car under is because cars don't need that much of a distance to slow down when they get to an intersection. So are you guys clear?
How that?
Okay. So how do you know?
Yes.
How do you easily make it simpler for you? It's remember this is a combination sign. So you should know that whatever that's under, it's what is being warned. You get it? What is being warned. So meaning here they are warning goods vehicles, not every car, goods vehicle. The reason why there's no category of vehicle here is because they're warning everyone. But the moment when they put a category of a vehicle under, they're warning a specific class of vehicle. So you as the driver, you know there's intersection in front, but you don't have to be panicking because you can still stop when you get to the intersection. Okay, or continuing. The next one is advanced warning signs in a high visibility background. Okay, first one, it's it's a temporary sign because it's yellow. It's telling you about loose stones on the road. Why is it a warning? Loose stones can fly into windscreens, can fly into things, grills of cars. So basically, when you see this sign, is warning you that you need to increase your flowing distance because there's loose stones. So if your distance is more, even when the loose stones flies out, it doesn't damage your car. Next one is telling you about a speed bump. Next one is telling you about two lanes, one lane moving from left, the other one moving to the right. The next one is telling you about a sharp curve or a bend, and at the same time, it's telling you about trains in front. But remember, it's telling you about a bend, it's telling you about trains, it's not talking about you crossing a railway crossing. Because if you're going to get to a railway crossing, you'll see that there's an X. That's where the road and the tar road meet. So it's telling you that there's trains in that area, but it's not telling you about you meeting the thing. The trains could mean a train station. Next one is telling you about temporarily telling you about a bumpy road and a speed limit of 100. The next one is advanced warning signs with a flashing yellow signal. This one is temporarily telling you that there's a possibility that your car could flip because the road is uneven. So you need to drive with caution. The next one is telling you about you slowing down because it's flashing a yellow signal. It's cautioning you about a sharp bend in front. The next one, because it's flashing a yellow light, it's warning you about the height restriction in front. Next one also, flashing is telling you about a decline. Next one also, the reason why it's advanced is because it's highlighting something in a more of a higher highlight. Meaning, for example, as you're approaching, you're gonna find that there's this sign inside. But the moment when you get closer, you find there's a light that's flashing like this. And then there's this sign. It's telling you that that area has a very dangerous decline. So you need to be very, very, very careful. That's why there's flashing lights. Advanced warning sign with multiple combinations. So this one is an advanced warning signs with more than two warnings. The first one is telling you about a T junction for goods vehicles, but it's flashing yellow because that area has a high possibility of causing a possibility of causing a danger. That is why there's a yellow flash. It's telling you need to be more cautious than with other roads. The next one is a stop sign, and also telling you about goods, vehicles that are carrying 10 tons. And it's also talking about the distance. So what are they saying? They're saying that they're warning goods vehicles they're warning goods vehicles that are carrying 10 tons that in 200 meters there's a stop sign. Warning at the top about warning if the red line is warning the red line about a stop sign inside, and under the category of vehicle that is being warned, the weight that the vehicle is carrying, which is 10 tons, and the distance that the stop sign is at. The next one is a temporary sign, is warning you about possibility of an accident in 5 kilometers. The next one is warning you about a decline for 12 kilos. And then the next category, we're talking about information signs. How do you know information signs? You guys still remember the colors?
Yeah, but
Yes. So how do we know that is an information sign?
okay, you said it will be blue to give you the information and the green one to
Yes,
command.
very correct. So if it's blue, it's giving you information, and the information that is giving you is basically telling you that this is what is going to happen, and it's not negotiable if you're traveling in this route. So meaning, for example, you want to go left or right, and it's telling you that in 300 kilos, is it kilos, is it meters?
It's in meters.
What? No, don't read what is written there. What is it saying? Is it kilos or meters? Remember, we talked about this one line.
Yeah, I remember
When
you
there
said
is
it's
one.
100 meters, Deba.
Okay.
So this is one,
So,
this is three.
okay. This is very important. Okay, I'm going to repeat. One line means 100 meters. Two, 200 meters. Three is 300 meters. So, the moment when you're driving on a highway and then you're going to reach a high speed freeway exit, so you're going to get a countdown. So, the first one that you're going to see is in 300 meters, there's an exit. Then, after you pass the first 100 meters, it's going to tell you in 200 meters, there's an exit. After you pass the two, then it's going to tell you about in 100 meters, there's an exit. After the 100, you reach the exit. So basically what it's telling you is just telling you that when you exit, you can exit at high speed, but you need to slow down as these get lesser and lesser. So the moment when it gets to two, you know you need to slow down, adjust your speed. When it gets to one, you should know that you're about to exit now. You need to completely slow down. Okay, the next one, temporarily high speed exit, countdown sign. This one is a temporary version because it's yellow. And then the next one is no through road ahead, as indicated by the red bar. So remember what I said, this is not a T junction. It's basically telling you that here you're not passing through, it's a dead end. How do you know there's a red block here, either on a temporary or either on a normal sign? It's a dead end. Also, this one is telling you that there's a dead end either on the left or on the right. Next one is telling you priority road. The road you're traveling on has a priority at the junction ahead. Priority could mean anything. It could mean that in front, the lane that turns left is only for buses. Could be telling you that in front, the lane that turns left or right, it's only for a certain class of vehicle. The moment when you see this type of a sign, you should already be aware on what's going to happen. The next one is information sign still, and then this one is telling you that at the speed shown, the traffic lights at each junction ahead are synchronized to display the same signal. You guys understand that?
Nope.
Okay. At the speed shown, meaning 55 kilometers per hour, the traffic lights at each junction ahead are synchronized to display the same signal. So meaning at the speed shown, 55 kilos, the traffic light at each junction, meaning at the junction ahead, are synchronized to display the same signal. Meaning it's going to show this signal here. This signal at the bottom. You guys get it? Or do I need to explain further? Because I know people, when it comes to this one, they get slightly lost.
So what you're saying, every 55 kilometer, if one traffic signal is green, then that one will be also green.
Yes.
Right, thank you.
So meaning, you know where you find this type of signs? It's where you find that there's those cameras where you find that, let's say for example, that road has those cameras that use average speed. Let's say you're driving at this speed, you're going 55 kilometers per hour. They're telling you that in the next junction, you're gonna find that the road is still open because you're driving that speed. So if you go any faster, you're gonna find that in the next sign is a different thing. What is it? It's a different light. And mostly on roads like that, if you go, let's say for example, it's an 80 zone and you're going 90, it doesn't matter what's written on that road. When you get to the next camera, that camera flashes you, you're gonna get a ticket because you're going above the average speed. So it's a 100 zone, you come flying, you're driving 120. So the time it will take you to start from this point to get to the other point will be shorter. So it means that you are not driving the average speed in the middle. You know, you're not driving $100. You're driving faster. So you're gonna get a ticket because the camera at the end is an average speed camera. Okay, do you guys understand? So if you're driving 55, you know that in the next sign, you're gonna find it open for you to pass. If you're going faster, you're gonna find it closed. If you're going slower, you're gonna find it closed. Okay, next one. Is a three-phase. The traffic light do not change simply from red to green, but have more phases to allow vehicles to turn against oncoming traffic. A three-phase, it's a type of a traffic light where you see a normal traffic light has yellow, red, and green light. So a three-phase, you're gonna find that it has another arrow on the side. That arrow could be green, it will also turn red, and then you find that also has another arrow on the left or on top. So what happens is that whichever one could flash to control the traffic. The one for turning left could be flashing to say the people that have a right of way now, people that are going left. Or the one on the right could be flashing. The people that are turning left or right have a right of way. Or the one that goes straight could be flashing to the people that have a right of way, people that are going straight. It's called a three-phase, meaning it controls traffic in three directions. So when you see a three-phase sign, you should know that a robot in front of you or the traffic lights in front of you controls traffic in three directions. I can see you guys are quiet. It gets complicated now. It's not your every stuff. Okay, the next one is park and ride point. It means it's a parking where you can park and catch the train. You can park your car here and take the train at the next leg of your journey. So meaning you're driving, mostly you'll find this type of signs at Gautrain, or I don't know what the new train is called, but mostly I know that at the Gautrain ones they are there. Or you find there is a parking, mostly it will be a paid parking. You will find that you're gonna park there, and then after you're gonna walk for certain meters, and then the train station will be available. Then you can get your train. And when you come back, you get off the train, you get into your car, you leave. Okay, the next one is modal transfer. At this point, you can change your mode of transport, e.g., from car to train, or from train to bus. This one is clear. The next one is information center, where you can obtain information about your local area, directions, and so on. So different places and information centers, depending on where you are, but every place has an information center. Not villages, town. Towns have information centers. Osmasburg doesn't have an information center. Kuruman has an information center. Kimberley has an information center. Okay. Next one is supplementary information plates. The reason why they're called supplementary information plates is because they'll be attached to another sign to give the sign more of a stronger meaning. You could give it more of a stronger or better meaning. The first one is goods vehicle. Next one is the recommended speed. Remember, I mentioned this up there that the reason why I'm saying it's recommended speed is because it doesn't have a red line around it. So it's not restricting you. So let's say it's a curve and there's this kind of speed attached at the bottom. They're telling you that the curve that you're entering, it's a sharp curve or it's a normal curve. The recommended speed is 80 for you to travel safely. If you think you can go faster, you can, but you'll be endangering your life. So the recommended speed is 80. The next one, 12 kilometers, is for the next 12 kilometers. How do you know it's for the next? There's a 4. There's a 4 right here. It's telling you for the next 12 kilos, something is happening. The next one is telling you for 5 kilometers, something is temporarily happening because it's yellow at the back. The next one is telling you 200 meters ahead, something is happening. Okay, this one. The only place I ever saw this sign is in the learner's book. I have never seen this sign. Probably it's at, I don't know, the blind people school. Probably it's in that area to warn you about blind people. But I've never seen this type of a sign. But basically what this sign is telling you is there's blind people in the area. You should be aware of them. In this type of a situation, you're probably the one dodging the people, not trying to warn them with a hooter. But they're blind. How are they gonna know you're even coming? Okay, the next one is warning you about an accident, possibility of an accident in the area. The next one is color combinations. Remember, we have different colors. So these types of signs, you're mostly gonna find them on highways where they combine more or all the colors into one. So they throw out different messages. But you need to understand what each one means. And you should need to properly translate it so you can be able to understand what it says to you. So the first one is a guidance sign on a freeway. White, yellow on a blue board is the guidance sign. How do you know it's a guidance sign? Because there's a direction here, an arrow pointing direction. There's another direction, west. There's also another information, highway, toll gate, and it's talking about the route name, N17. So it's a guidance sign on the freeway. Next one it's a guidance sign for other roads. White, yellow on a green board. Remember, guidance signs for freeways, it's white, yellow on a blue board. Guidance sign for other roads, it's white, yellow on a green board. This is where you need to remember your colors. But there's also a way that tells you so that you can easily pick it up. Okay. The first one, how do you know that? How do you easily pick it up that is on the freeway? It's telling you about one, it's telling you about a toll gate. Two, it's telling you about a freeway. There's a freeway right here. So the moment you see this type of sign, you know that you're on a freeway because it's talking about a toll gate and a freeway. You only find toll gates and this type of a sign on a freeway itself. This one, it's on a normal road. So it's telling you about a freeway ahead. You're not on the freeway, it's telling you about a freeway ahead. How do you know it's telling you about a freeway ahead? It's telling you here, if you check, it's telling you that south, if you go south, there's a freeway. The freeway's name is called M1. So if you go south, you're going towards a freeway. Which freeway? M1 freeway. Okay, that's the difference. Next one is diagrammatic lane guidance. Don't let the words confuse you. It's just telling you that the third lane is going to turn into the second lane, meaning there will no longer be 3 lanes, there will be 2 lanes. Tourism guidance sign, white, yellow on a board. Tourism guidance signs, white, yellow on a board. Okay, the next one, local direction signs, black on white signs, which within a town or city. The next one, location names, symbols. So mostly this type of a sign, you're gonna find it where it's attached with a name of a river. It could be Blood River, and at the bottom it will show this type of a thing. And you know that in front it's a river. This one is toll road name symbol. It could be telling you that M1, and then you find that it's showing you this type, you know that there's a toll road. Simple. In front is telling you the end of a toll road. Simple. This one is telling you a dual carriageway, meaning it's a freeway that has 2 lanes going one direction. The next one is telling you it's a freeway that has 1 carriage way, meaning it has 1 lane going one direction. The next one, interchange name symbol. The next one is conservatory name symbol. Conservatory means an area where there could be conserving birds or a certain type of an animal. Okay, so far with what we have passed, do you guys have any questions?
No. Nake sharp for no.
Okay, so all of you guys understand properly what we're teaching.
Yes, getting a hang of it.
I know, like, you know, when it comes to the learners thing, man, most things look easy and until you get a bit deeper into them. And the moment when you can get the deeper side of them and understand them, guaranteed everything else becomes easy. For example, with road signs, there's a lot of road signs. And the more deeper you go, you start to understand that colors actually have a more of a stronger meaning to signs. And the more you understand the colors, the more they make everything simpler for you to understand. So I'm gonna repeat what each color means. Again, I'm gonna do this. Basically, I'm gonna try and do this on every lesson so that I can try and make you guys understand these colors. If you understand the colors, it doesn't matter whatever sign that they can come up with. They will never confuse you. Specifically on road signs. Road signs appear more than any other chapter in your test. So you can never dodge them. Okay, red and white, I'm going to repeat. Red and white is your regulatory signs. What a red and a white sign means? It's a command. Sign prohibits you and legally restricts you to do an action or a speed limit, entry, or stops you. Red and white is a regulatory sign. It commands, prohibits, or legally restricts you from something that you must obey. Repeating, red and white, regulatory sign, meaning it commands, prohibits, and legally restricts you from an action. It could be it's telling you to stop at a stop sign. It could be telling you need to yield at a stop sign. It could be telling you no entry. It could be restricting your speed. If you disobey that type of a sign, definitely you're gonna get a ticket. Next one, it's red, white, and black. It's a warning sign. What does it mean? It indicates a potential hazard, danger. Types of signs that have this type of colors. It's your sharp curves, animal crossings, hidden intersections. Next one, it's yellow, black, and red. These are temporary signs. What do they mean? They alert drivers to temporary hazards or change roads or change the road conditions. Usually could be because of road works or an accident scene. And the most important thing to remember about temporary signs, they have a certain superpower. What is the superpower? They overrule every sign that's on that road that is permanent. So meaning if there's a stop sign on that road and a temporary sign tells you should proceed, it overrules whatever sign that's on that road. That's the special power. So the moment when you see there's a normal sign and there's a yellow sign, you ignore the normal sign, you follow the yellow sign. Because yellow signs overrule whatever sign that's on that road. Okay, next one, a blue sign. It's an information, guidance, or command sign. Meaning, the meaning of it, it means that it could be used on road markings to tell you what is happening or what you should do on that road. It could be used on directions, where it will tell you which direction to go. Okay, the next one, and also it could tell you the minimum speed to travel at. Minimum speed to travel at. Okay, and then green. Green is direction and guidance sign. Green is direction and guidance sign. What do they mean? It provides navigation information, distance, and also directions to towns, cities, could be tourism attractions. That's what they do. The next one is a brown sign. It's a tourism sign. What does it mean? It points the way to a tourist facility, national parks, or specific points of interest. Okay, do you guys understand the colors? Or is there any questions?
That's all right. It's okay for me this time.
Okay, So with this class, since it has like very important information, I'm going to post the recordings on the group, and then those of you guys that want to refer back, then you can refer back to the colors or any description.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna end the class and I'm gonna see you guys on the next class.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Night.